So before I begin the Syrian Refugee Ration Challenge, I want to weigh myself on day 1 and then again on day 7 to see what this kind of diet does to my weight. So I'm just going to get my baseline weight now and yeah, see what happens in the course of the next week. So let's get on the scales. So I'm currently 57 kilos. Okay, so it's the night before I begin the ration challenge, and here I have my last meal before I'm on rations for 7 days straight. So my last meal is the classic Australian dinner, or should I say the classic Australian tea. Meat and 3 veg. So I have a couple of lamb chops because I'm going to be lacking protein in the next few days, so I thought I'd have a fair bit of meat tonight, as well as corn, zucchini and mashed potato for some vitamin and minerals. You're probably wondering why my mashed potatoes look a bit strange. It's because, well, one, I mash them with the skin still on them, they're new potatoes, and I've since learned that's not a thing that people do. So yeah, I've always done it. And also I ran out of milk, so I didn't want to go and buy a carton of milk when I'm going to be not able to drink it for the next week. So that's why they're a bit lumpy and not so smooth, but still delicious. And I have so much white pepper and onion salt on this meal because I know that I'm not going to have these flavors for 7 days. Oh, and also, yeah, my final beverage before it's just water. So yeah, I'm going to go and thoroughly enjoy this meal. Signing off. Okay, hello and welcome to We Live in a Society. It is day 1 of the Syrian Refugee Ration Challenge. So this morning I've decided to just have a cup of tea for breakfast and save the bulk of my food for lunch and dinner today. So I have my Mahmoud tea bags. I managed to secure 3 of them through my fundraising efforts, so they smell amazing. So it has added cardamom, so they're quite strong, so I'll be able to reuse this tea bag several times. So although, I mean, usually I just have black coffee with sugar, but I cannot add any sugar or milk or anything to this tea. So let's see how it goes this morning. So it's literally a couple of dips of the tea bag because it is quite a strong tea. So because I only had 3 tea bags and this challenge is over 7 days, I have to retain the tea bag to use for several more occasions. So I'm just going to place the tea bag into this little bowl and place it in a bag into the fridge. So I think that's probably going to be way strong enough, to be honest. So just put that tea bag. There we go. Let it. I probably should maybe let it. I'll let it cool a little. So yeah, off to enjoy my cup of cardamom tea. It's actually quite too hot to drink at the moment. So cheers. Okay, so I'm actually in bed at the moment because it's really cold here in Australia, and I haven't had my shower yet. So here we go to the Mahmoud cardamom tea. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's black tea. Normally I like to have some nabat in it, but it's acceptable. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a tea drinker, but yeah, I mean, this will be okay for a week. So yeah, normally in the morning I like to have my cup of coffee and play a game of canasta to get my brain going. So yeah, so I guess it'll be tea instead. So yeah, this isn't so bad. I think I'll have like a couple of cups of tea just to trick my stomach into thinking it's full. So to day 1. Okay, so just a day 1 mid-morning update. It's currently 10 a.m. So this morning I just had black tea, and normally for breakfast I would have a black coffee with sugar and fruit and yogurt or something like that. And yeah, so I'm not really struggling. I'm not particularly hungry. I will be having an early lunch though. So, but yeah, so far so good. Okay, so it's lunchtime on day 1. Yay! So luckily I could come home to cook my lunch because I live in close proximity to the university where I work. So today, for day one lunch, it's just going to be a very simple lunch. I'm just going to have boiled rice, rice in the rice cooker with salt. So it's just going to be simple and basic, and I'm going to leave a lot more of my flavors and varieties for my dinner tonight. So yeah, I have here my first aliquot of rice. So I'm just going to cook one cup. So I don't think I need the entire 300 grams, or actually we'll see, because I do want this for dinner tonight because I plan to cook a lentil soup. So we'll see how much. I think that in this, yeah, that's almost 1 cup. Yes, I'll cook the entire bag, I think. So no. I don't want to waste a single grain here. 1 cup into the rice cooker and a little bit extra. Okay, so then I will put the equivalent, I'll put 2 cups of water. There we go. So this will be the bulk of my food for today. So that's what we have, this much rice. So this will have to do my lunch, and as well as provide the bulk of my dinner tonight, along with my lentil soup. Okay, so I'm going to serve up my lunch. Okay, so I think I want probably the majority of this for dinner, but I do need to get through the rest of the day, and as I only had a cup of black tea for breakfast, I think I need to, have a decent amount of rice here. So okay, and as I also have salt, I am going to season this rice with a little bit of salt. Well, with a lot, not too much salt, just a bit of salt. So there we go. So, lunch day one, bowl of plain white rice with salt. So, probably should taste test it. I'll taste test it here. So mix in the salt a little bit. It's gonna be hot. Bon appetit. It's delicious. It's just white rice with salt. It's nice lunch. So I'm just going to go and enjoy my lunch now. So yeah, signing off. Okay, so I'm actually going to make some of Fatima's flatbread bites, so that I can have with dinner tonight. So the recipe calls for 120 grams of flour and a little extra for dusting. I'm going to use just 100 grams of flour and just make 3. It says here it makes 2 to 3 flatbreads, so I'm going to try and make 3 small flatbreads. So all right, just want to make sure I save some of my wheat flour for later. So here we have our 114 grams of flour, and we have 83 mils of water. And so basically you want to add this slowly to the flour until you kind of get like a sticky dough. So I really don't want to, I'm just going to see if I've got it. I really don't want to use my hands as much as possible. So add that till we get a sticky dough consistency. Okay, I don't want to add too much water because I don't want to risk using all my flour. Yeah, this looks pretty good consistency now, actually. So I don't think I need that additional water. I think that's pretty good. So that's the consistency. I'll just show you. So I think that's okay. Okay. So now the kneading process begins. So probably needed to be a little bit more sticky, but actually, sorry, we need to use a tiny bit of the flour just to put it onto the chopping board. And so yeah, so we just, it's quite sticky. I don't care for that. So yeah, so it's just a matter of kneading this now. So I have 400 grams of flour, so I plan to make bread every few days. So then I'm going to separate this into 3 bowls and cook 3 small flatbreads. Oh, it's still a little sticky, and I didn't even use all the water too. But we'll see how we go. So roughly, yeah, it's quite sticky still. All right, so we will roll these out. So I don't want to waste too much flour in this dusting process because it's very precious. Okay, so these are going to be quite small flatbreads. Okay, and it says to cook these flatbreads in a frying pan, just with a teaspoon of oil per flatbread. However, I don't have a frying pan, so all right, I don't want to make it too thin. So anyway, here's my first flatbread. It's not exactly aesthetically pleasing, but I'm sure it'll still taste fine. I'm not sure exactly how thin it needs to be, but I don't want it to fall apart. So I think that'll be acceptable. Okay, so according to Fatima's flatbread bites recipe, you should only cook on each side for 1 to 1.5 minutes. It should sort of bubble up a little bit. And then you should also get like nice golden brown spots on one side, which we don't have yet, but it is starting to bubble up, as you can see. So I'm just going to keep cooking it. Okay, so I feel as if this is done. So there we go, Fatima's flatbread. So I have enough to make about 3 pieces this size. Okay, so here you can see I have 3 decent sized flatbreads from about 114 grams of flour. Okay, so I'm just going to give a quick post-lunch update. So I'm actually feeling quite full after that meal. I'm not hungry at all. I actually struggled to eat the entire bowl, but I figured I would because I need the calories to get through the rest of the day until tonight. But yeah, like I'm feeling good, so it wasn't a bad lunch. Okay, so I'm now attempting to make Asala's lentil soup. You can see the recipe. So it is basically just 65 grams of the red lentils with 750 mils of water. So to start, and then you can add salt, and I'm actually going to, let me dig out, I'm actually going to add some of my spice. So I'm definitely going to add some of this chicken curry spice. I've never tried it before, so I think it was actually a really poor choice to choose a spice I've never actually tried before. So I'm really hoping it turns out to be okay. So I'm going to add some of this spice to the lentils. And I want to make kind of a bit of a watery kind of soup. Feels as if that's going to be a bit too much water for this tiny amount of lentils. Although in the photo the soup does look quite thin. So okay. So weighing out 65 grams of lentils. Okay, so I'm adding my rinsed lentils to the pot of boiling water. That was a poor choice. I'll just grab a spoon. So I want to get every last lentil out of here and mix around. So yeah, so we basically just want to let this simmer. I'm going to add salt to this mix now. No specific quantity, just a bit of salt. So, okay, so that's it. It smells really good. So I'm just going to add like just a teaspoon to start with. Okay, so it has been 25 minutes, so I'm going to have a look at the soup. So, let's have a look. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yes, okay, this is pretty good. Amazing. Okay, so this is dinner, night 1. I have my glass of water. I have lightly salted rice. I have some flatbread. So I haven't actually tried the flatbread yet. So let's see how that is. Oh, it's a bit chewy. Yeah, it's really good. It's not bad. It'll be really nice dipped in the dal. And so, the lentil soup, sorry. So here you can see my lentil soup. And so let's try it. I mean, it smells amazing. Smells really good. Let's try it. Oh my god, wow. Okay, that's so good. That spice was a real good choice. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna like pour a lot of this lentil soup onto the rice and eat with the flatbread. So yeah, this is quite a nice meal. And I still have at least this portion of rice left over that was part of my rations for today. So all right, I'm going to enjoy this meal. So signing off. Okay, so that's the end of day one. Yeah, it was fine. Like, I don't really have a big breakfast usually, so the cup of tea was fine. I did start to get a bit hungry around 10 o'clock, so I did have an early lunch at like 11:45, 12 o'clock, because I was starting to get really hungry by that point. I struggled to eat my portion of rice for lunch, but I ate it all. But I did start to get really hungry at about 5 o'clock. So it's about 6 o'clock now and I've had dinner, which means now I don't really have anything else now to eat for the rest of the night. I do, yeah, so I think day one, so it was good. I am struggling to drink just water though. I'm not a big water drinker, so this is a bit difficult not to be able to have any other kind of beverage. So yeah, okay. So signing off, and to day two. Hello, and welcome to